Hello and welcome to the First of the Field Agronomy Update for the week of June 22nd, 2015. In this week's update, we're going to talk about staging corn once it gets to the bigger sizes that we see here in this cornfield today, as well as discuss some issues around Flexstar questions that we've had in the previous week. And we'll also touch a little bit about what's going on with First of the Field here in the coming week. So tomorrow on June 25th, Thursday, Nate Eitzman and myself and Kyle Shirk from BASF will be going out to the 360 nitrogen cornfield trials that we have out in the field, and we're going to be using the soil scan nitrate tester that we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago in our agronomy update. So we're going to be going out and taking cores at a 1 foot and a 2 foot level to try to get a reading on nitrogen levels in the fields, and then we're going to be taking that information and entering it into the Commander software platform. So it's going to be pretty interesting with all the rain that we've had over the past couple weeks to see what type of nitrogen levels we have left in the soil and how that impacts what the software says we need to apply here. And the plan after that is to probably start making applications. Our goal is at the V10 stage, and as we'll discuss in a little bit, we're nearing that point, so probably applications will start given field conditions next week. So we're getting to the point in the growing season now where corn staging becomes increasingly important as far as making any type of late herbicide applications, because we're getting to the point where we're off label for a lot of things with where we're at. And I wanted to show people a quick reminder on how to accurately stage. A lot of people will come out and say, well, my corn has so many leaves, or there's so many drooping, or it's this tall. That's really not a good way to do it, because you really need to identify where exactly it is from a collard stage. And when the corn gets to this point, it starts sloughing leaves off the bottom. So the only way to accurately stage things is to split the corn plant and find where the 5th node is located. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So what I did was I pulled a plant completely out of the ground and shook some of the dirt off of it and put a knife in the middle of the stalk and just simply split the stalk downward, and then I removed some of it for this demonstration. But what you want to look for, if Anna can zoom in here, this first dark area in the apex of the bottom of the plant is where nodes 1 through 4 are kind of compressed and all together. So you look for this dark triangle, and then you look for the little white space right above it, and the next node that is above that, that is the 5th node of the corn plant. And so once you've identified that this is the 5th node, you look at which leaf is attached to that node, which is this one here that I've kind of butchered half already, but it attaches right here. So once you've identified that leaf, this is V5, this is V6, this is V7, this is V8, because we have an exposed collar here, and we're almost to V9 here. So this field right now is V8 pushing to V9. Some of the plants that I've looked at are at full V9. So this would be off-label for things like glyphosate or Callisto, products like that. So something you want to keep in mind. We have had calls this week of people finding flushes of water hemp, especially in areas of fields that have suffered from ponding the past couple years. So you want to make sure if you're out looking to be able to stage things properly before you go out and make an application of something that could potentially damage your crop. Lastly today, I wanted to make some comments around Flexstar applications that are yet to go on soybeans. We've had a fair amount of calls and questions with the rain the last few days, people wondering how much longer can they spray Flexstar in their soybean fields. So the Flexstar molecule itself has a 10-month rotation restriction before planting back to corn. So we're nearing that window, getting close to July 1st here, where we would feel comfortable in planting corn 10 months from now. So people are concerned about that. What we would tell folks, if you haven't made applications, we still think getting that molecule out there is extremely important from protecting water hemp from coming up. We've had a lot of people that have seen new flushes of water hemp emerge in the last week here. So that weed has another probably good 6 to 8 weeks of emergence left, so we feel it's important to get a residual herbicide out there. But we still need to keep in mind the rotation restrictions. So what we would say is we feel it's pretty safe to be making applications of Flexstar into the first week of July, especially if you have heavy soils that have, like this field here where we've got excellent organic matter, good heavy black dirt. We'd probably be more suspect to pull back the reins on farms that would have lighter soils, sand or light hilltops, that we'd be concerned about carryover more so there. So those are just some of the things to keep in mind when making applications on Flexstar here in the next week to 10 days. The other thing I would say is we've had a lot of questions about, it seems like my Flexstar is burning more. Are people concerned with the level of burn? At this stage in the game with soybean development, we're trying to get people to focus on making sure we're getting adequate burn to kill the weeds that are in the field. That should be the primary focus. We very seldom have seen Flexstar injury from burn in the month of June when we're making applications in a timely fashion. In the past couple years, we've been forced to make burner applications into the month of July when we're in the reproductive and flowering times in the plant. That's when we have seen yield decreases, but right now we need to get people to focus on making sure we're killing the water hemp and the other weeds that are out there using full rates, full adjuvant loads, 15 to 20 gallons of water, flat fan tips, and not cutting back on anything to make sure we don't have problems here in the coming weeks. Lastly, I'll add that we've been playing around with a product called Brand Smart Trio with our Flexstar applications the last 2 seasons, and we've had some nice responses this year where people have made early applications. Brand Smart Trio is a foliar product that has micro and macronutrients in it as well. And what we've seen, it doesn't necessarily decrease the burn that you get with a Flexstar application or the burners, but it helps the plants recover more quickly, and we've got some really nice side-by-side photos of people that have got treated versus untreated areas with Brand Smart Trio mixed with their PPO herbicide technology. So if that's something you want to take a look at on your farm, make sure to give us a call and we'd be happy to set you up with some product to try. So that's it for the First of the Field Agronomy Update for the week of June 22nd, 2015. We appreciate you taking the time to listen, and again, if you have any questions about what we talked about today, please feel free to contact your local Osmus Farm Supply sales agronomist.